Hello everyone and welcome to the Enemies Elite, and thank you for joining me as we discuss volume 6 of the A Certain Scientific Accelerator manga series. A climactic volume that builds up towards the ending of this arc, as here we learn more about the true goal of the main antagonists, and someone gets wounded far more than we initially thought. More on that in a bit though. First of all, this volume had more of a tense vibe to it than the previous volumes beforehand, as we don't really get a last order segment at the end of this current volume, which, that's my one bit of happiness after reading this very, very dark volume. But I didn't get that, so we have to assume that this volume was meant to be super duper serious, and we should not be laughing by the time we finish it going into volume 7. But in all seriousness, we learned that the main goal of Harumi, aka the demon that's guiding her / possessing her, is that the demon said that there is a way to create the Rosenhall long life goal of creating that perfect golem. One that has a perfect body and a perfect soul. In other words, a god. But what I don't understand is why don't they just ask me? I mean, I've got a perfect body and I've got a perfect soul. You can ask anybody. Anyway, the line that really stuck out to me was in fact the line about the 10,031 deaths, memories, that are within the Academy City. That's right, the Mitsuka sister mentioned this. And I loved that line drop from this volume, as that's what gets Accelerator interested in this conversation, and kind of answers the question as to why Hishigata needed the Mitsuka clone to begin with. She needed all of those death memories to implant into Harumi so that she then can awaken to the next stage and use all of that knowledge and create this perfect golem. That was one of the favourite lines from this volume so far. This whole encounter with the awakened Harumi / the demon had a creepy dial turned up to full, as the expressions on her face were fantastic throughout this entire volume. The reactions from all the other cast members and group, the characters, all all complemented the dialogue / the information that was given to us, with emotions ranging from shock to disbelief to even crazy happiness. These were all on display, all on point, and I love seeing each and every one of them. The fight at the beginning of this volume was okay, nothing really that special. Simply a way to make the time that Hishigata needed to upgrade Harumi seem realistic to us as the viewer. So for that, I appreciate it, but at the same time, I have my same issue with the whole kind of robots being really difficult to follow when you're reading manga, because it's so messy, it's so chaotic. And we get that here. There was one panel that I really did like though, when we see Accelerator manipulating the steel beams. You see him spinning in a spiral before they connect with their target. That was pretty cool. I love it when characters get some time to shine and develop more. Character development is something that I really love to read and to see, whether it's anime or manga. And seeing the steel gain that courage and resolve to face the demon and its abomination that it created to stop their plan was great. She wants to save her friend Harumi, who is currently being controlled. This is admirable to say the least, but the final shot that we see with 3 members, Accelerator, Estelle, and I think it's Cone? Is it Cone? The familiar that Estelle is brought back to life. Those 3 there standing, looking menacing and ready for action, looked awesome. Sorry, Mitsuka clone, but you didn't quite make the cut here. However, I thought it was great because they're just staring up this golem and they're just like, right, we have to take this sucker down. I still had some really cool lines in this volume. For example, if I just turn to the volume itself, you've got this one right here. She says, "Do not toy with death. This is what I've learnt. We have to stop using these cursed techniques. I've tried to bring my friend back to life, and I've ended up losing her twice." I love this because the emotion that she displays in this volume at that line You can clearly see it on the face, but it's also portrayed in the dialogue itself. That was a great line for a character to say, because it shows when she's finally broken out of her chains and ready to face whatever it is she has to face to put a stop to it. Lovely. Now, if she doesn't get the finishing blow, then I would be disappointed. Having her get the finishing blow would make me enjoy her character a lot more than I originally do. Because at the moment, I do like her character, but with all this build-up and all of this talk about her kind of, wanting to save her friend and creating that knife, if she doesn't end up getting the finishing blow or saving Harumi, then unfortunately, it's going to be a bit disappointing. If they make Accelerator get the final blow, then that would be villainous. See what I did there? Because he's a villain, anti-hero, whatever you want to call him. But hopefully, Accelerator takes a step back, does most of the heavy lifting, but then lets Estelle get the final blow, thus ending off her character with a positive note. I like the fact, though, that she did try to use that knife on Harumi before the countdown finished, but she ended up getting Hishigata, and that is the character who gets fatally wounded. I think he literally just falls into the depths of the earth by the end of the volume, which I thought was pretty not a nice way to go, but I mean he was already pretty much dead at that point anyway. But his life seemed to have a few good spurts after being stabbed. One time he kind of went, "I'm sorry, I'm too weak to talk," and I went, "Ugh," and kind of did that, and then next minute he was talking paragraphs and sentences. I thought that was kind of weird, but hey, maybe he was just playing possum to try and trigger whatever was working in Harumi's mind and awaken her. Who knows? Overall, I like this volume. It may not have been the best volume, but it by no means is the worst. The backstory about Estelle's family was a nice addition to it, but I was, again, disappointed there was no Last Order segment. I really loved reading those, but it was still a fun volume to read, and I'm excited to see what happens in the next one as we look to go towards the climax and the ending of this arc. Plus, the Index and Alistair cameo was a nice addition to the chapter as well. It's good to see those characters from time to time, but it just shows how much of a impact this creation, this abomination that the devil has concocted and created. Now, I'll leave you one last cursed image, but if you're afraid of rude things, then thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stick around and watch more videos in the future. Go check out some of the other videos that I've done, but yeah, if you don't like rude things, click off the video in 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the image I'm about to show you isn't really that rude. It's just a perfect golem clearly has a willy. Yep, I can't unsee it, now neither can you. You can thank me later. But thank you again so much for watching this video. Give me all your thoughts on the volume down below in the comment section. Like the video if you liked the video. But above all else, I hope you have a wonderful day. Arigato, matane. Goodbye.